or you wanted to highlight?
Nope.
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 Okay. Let's start with games that are upcoming, actually. Can we start with the upcoming games? I got three. I got three we can talk about. Let me go to the overlay and then we can discuss them. Okay. Game number one. You didn't play it, but a Pokemon-like game called Coromon is coming out next week on Steam. I had some positive thoughts about the game. And for those of you that like Pokemon, want to play something else that's not Pokemon, there are some differences from this game to Pokemon. They're not, I would consider, major, but they're subtle enough where the game is interesting. May want to check that out. I think the game is going to be fun. So just a really quick note on that one. Also
So
today... Oh, go ahead.
That's the official release now as opposed to whatever it was before, early access or demo or beta. I don't...
Official release. It says it's coming to PC, Epic Game Store, and Switch. So if you actually want to get it on Switch, you can do that. I think getting it. Oh, go ahead.
What was it before? It was like early access or something like that.
It was a demo essentially. It was a demo. Okay. You could do a demo, but you could do the demo for like a certain amount of the game.
Gotcha.
I don't know if they extended that demo anymore, but yeah. The game is very simple. It's like got that, nice pixel graphics. It's pretty, like, it was fun when I played it. I know Karu and I played it. I don't know if anybody else joined when we were playing it, but it's a fun little game, and it's got a nice style to it. They have built-in randomizer and difficulty modes, which was awesome. It's actually really nice that they have randomizer built into this game. That's unbelievable.
That's really nice because randomizer's pretty big, and I mean in a lot of communities, but Pokemon for sure, people love to play randomizer, and since it's built, that's really cool for it to be built in as opposed to someone having to go and mod the game to get something like that. So that's a good idea.
That's one of the things I liked about it too. Was okay, you beat the game, you're done. Just do a rando of it. Just like do randos of it now. Like with Pokemon, I gotta download the emulators, and then I have to download a randomizer, and then I have to seed it. This game just does that all for you, which is fantastic. Yep. So I had high praise for that as well. And there's difficulty tiers. So I don't know exactly how the difficulty works in this, but there are difficulty levels. So that's something to look out for too. I don't know if it has a built-in like Nuzlocke feature. I don't know if it does. I don't remember if it did, but it was fun. It was really fun. Demo was entertaining. Game's coming out. I don't know how much the game is going to cost. I don't know, but it was really fun. I feel like if this game is $30 to $40, it's probably worth buying. I don't know if it's going to be 60. I really don't know. But cool little game.
I doubt it, but
I don't know. I really don't know, but cool game coming out next week. Today is the release of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, a Borderlands spin-off from a DLC that came out in Borderlands 2. That's coming out in actually 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah. So you can bet your ass that as soon as we're done, I'm going to hit the install button on that. That's how fast I'm going to be at least getting that started on the install, because you couldn't pre-download it on Epic Game Store. It is not coming out on Steam right away. It has the exclusivity deal on Epic. I don't know how long that is. I'm sure somebody's upset about that. I'm so sorry. Not
surprising. Borderlands 3 had the same thing.
Correct.
So
they probably had a deal for that. They're like, okay, anytime you come out with a new Borderlands game, you gotta put it out like this, with like a year exclusivity deal. Again,
is Borderlands 3, is that on PC at this point?
Yes, right. It's on Steam. Yes.
Oh, on Steam. I meant Steam, yeah.
Yep, it was on there a year after the official release.
A year. Yeah.
I know. I sympathize only this much with people who just waited for the Steam release, but some people just really want the Steam version of Borderlands. I can understand if you want like modding support and things like that for the game, but I don't know. Borderlands to me isn't really a mod game. You don't play it modded because I just don't think of it that way. I don't even know if you probably could, but I don't know like what people do with it. But yeah, I mean, like, if you just want to play the game without mod support and such, like, I don't know, like, just play it on Epic. Just bite the bullet. I know it's tough. It's very harsh. The PC gaming atmosphere is a harsh universe of 17 launchers that you need to download to play your 17 games. It's a harsh landscape. I get it.
It's down to like there's Steam and Epic games. Those are the main ones. I guess BattleNet still exists for Blizzard games and
I'll name them.
Activision stuff.
Let me name them for you. Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
Okay. There's the Larian Studios launcher, specifically for Larian Studios games. That is Baldur's Gate 3 and those titles. That is they have their own launcher for that. Okay. Total War has its own launcher. Okay. Rockstar has its own launcher. You can still launch them through Steam,
but then it has to boot up their launcher after you launch them through Steam.
Then it chain reactions into their butthole of a launcher. And by the way, if you play on Rockstar, you gotta download their social club sometimes for some of their games. Yeah, that's fun. That's what I want on my computer. I want their social club that I give two shits about. It's just, there's too many launchers. There's too many. EA has their own launcher that 7 people use, and probably hate it. Like Origin and the EA one. Uplay, which just I want to know somebody. I want somebody to step up right now. If anybody can hear this, which maybe like 4 people will hear this, step up and tell me. I want one person to tell me they like Uplay. I want one person to step up to me face to face and go, I love Uplay.
And tell me why you like Uplay.
And explain to me why you like it. And I want to hear a legit, and I will hear the argument. I won't just laugh in your face and like right away. I will hear your arguments. But I will tell you right now, I want to know the one person that's like, yeah, Uplay, it's great. It's really great. I want to know like why they think it's great. What else? There's just too many. 2K Games has their own launcher.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, I realize all these games have their launcher, but I'm like, you don't have to buy the game through their like. I'm saying you have Steam Marketplace and you have the Epic Games Marketplace and you have BattleNet, and that's like there's. I guess GOG exists too. I know a few people use that, but
yeah, GOG exists. It's a thing. But yeah, I mean, it's just like the actual main marketplaces was what you were referring to. Yeah, there's a handful, as opposed to launchers, which you can no longer count on your 2 hands. You need your hands, your feet, and a friend to help you out with that.
Yep. Which
sucks. It really does. It's really annoying to be like, okay, I'll just launch this game on Steam, and then the 2K launcher comes up, and you're just like,
I guess there's the Xbox app too. If you want to use Game Pass on PC, you have to use that. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. There's the Xbox Marketplace. You're right. You're absolutely correct. So, anyway, Tiny Tina's Wonderland is coming out today, and I'm gonna play the game. I think it's gonna be a fun old time. I haven't checked any reviews on it. I'm sure it's just wonderful. It got a 79 on OpenCritic. I honestly don't think it'll matter too much for me.
I'm sure it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be. I mean, it's Borderlands. Borderlands is. It's Borderlands with a D&D spin on it. Like, it's gonna be fun. The gameplay of Borderlands is fun. For me, I usually like it for a bit and then it gets kind of stale. I'm just like, okay, this is the same thing over again. But
well, some people are. I'm looking at some of the reviews and I'm seeing that some people like it better than Borderlands 3, which is great, but it's not Borderlands 2. So if you're in between that, you're probably fine. You're probably okay. And then finally tomorrow is Kirby's release. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is going to release. Critics are reviewing it at an 85 as the top critic average, with a almost 100% recommended, I guess, statistic there, metric. I mean, that's great. Like, 85 is great. 85 is great. I'm sure the game is going to be fun. I saw some reviews saying it's like too easy somebody invoked the name of Elden Ring in a review that we were looking at before, which I want to go on the record and saying, please don't invoke Elden Ring in everything now. That's just going to piss me off. If I keep seeing Elden Ring in every month, if I look at a game review and I see Elden Ring multiple times referenced, I'm going to get pissed. It's going to piss me off.
Yep.
We get it. Elden Ring's great. I get it. Stop comparing things to Elden Ring.
Just because Elden Ring is the greatest game ever made doesn't mean you have to compare every game to it, because Kirby and Elden Ring have almost nothing in common.
The only thing that was referenced was the difficulty. That's what the comparison was. I'm like, okay, what the fuck?
Kirby's not supposed to be difficult.
I know. I'm just like, okay. It's like, this is the anti-Elden Ring for difficulty. It's like, who gives a shit? It's Kirby. It's a 7-year-old is supposed to play this. Me and a 7-year-old need to be able to play this. That's the market. There are plenty of Mario games that are not actually that hard until you get to like a certain point where you're doing end game stuff. Then it's moderately challenging to difficult. Okay. Like, if you play Super Mario World today, the game's not that hard, actually. It's really not. Mario Odyssey, it's really not that hard. It's really not that hard. The difficulty is trying to find all the stuff. You're trying to find all the whatever, the moons, whatever. That's the challenge, is trying to find all the stuff. The game itself is not hard. It's not meant to be. It's like, it's supposed to just be fun, and it's meant to be played by kids. This game is the same way. Elden Ring is not meant to be played by a 7-year-old. So, a little bit more, you can make it more difficult. You can make it for adults. It's different. But I'm interested in this game. I don't think I'll be playing it right away, but I'm interested in it.
Yeah. Same. I agree. I'm interested, but I'm not gonna get it right off the bat. I mean, it'll never be on sale, so it'll just be one of those things like when you feel like getting it.
Exactly. Hey,
Nintendo first party game never go on sale.
Yeah, no, so. Of course not. So anyway, those are upcoming games, like near term upcoming games.
Yeah, I've got one more game to actually mention. You probably haven't heard of it.
Okay.
And I won't be getting it right off the bat either. But this is another strategy RPG. This is a mecha strategy RPG. It is called Relayer. And it comes out today, actually.
Okay.
On PS4 and PS5.
Okay. I feel like we've heard of it. Why have we heard of this? Did we see this?
We may have seen it.
Did we see this? Relayer? Is it actually called RE space LA?
Yeah. No, it's like relay with ER on the end
Okay, I think I found it. Relayer. Did we see this? I'm pulling up a video muted because I want to know if we saw this before. No, I don't think we've ever seen. I haven't seen this. Looks like Gundam. This isn't Gundam, right?
No, it's not Gundam, and it's not a crossover like Super Robot Wars. It's its own it's a new IP, but it is a mecha strategy RPG.
I see. Okay, but they're not. None of these have crossover with Gundam. They just. I'm gonna be honest. They look like Gundams. I feel like I can say that they look like Gundams here. I feel like that is an okay thing to say.
Kind of. I mean, not completely, but
it's close.
They're
very
mecha,
close.
So
it's very close.
They're space mecha, and they look relatively humanoid. So yeah, I can see the comparison.
If you said to a necessarily like a novice even Gundam fan, they'd probably say, yeah, those look a little like it. They'd probably say that. And a top tier high quality Gundam fan though would probably have slaughtered me at those comments, but I think that it's a fair comparison. Relayer, PS4, PS5, not Steam, just PS4, PS5.
Not Steam, yeah, PS4, PS5.
Okay. Okay.
I've looked at a few things about it. I've heard the customization of like the characters and the classes are pretty interesting. Like the customization you can do with your mechs. But I've heard the map design is relatively uninteresting, which is kind of makes sense. It's hard to do with like if you're using mecha because mechas can fly everywhere, so it's hard to make obstructions for mechas and make the map's
Right.
interesting, especially if you're using space as well. Like, there's
Yeah.
not gonna be a lot of obstructions in space.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I've heard a lot of the maps are just kind of like a flat freaking grid, and there's not much to them.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's hard. It's hard when you have things that can move in multiple directions besides, you know, forward, backward.
And I've heard the story is like kind of a mess.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Well,
not it's like kind of it's anime tropey, and it's
mhm.
you know, it's kind of what you expect from, like, yeah, it's just very anime. And I heard it can be pretty wordy too, like a lot of dialogue similar to Triangle Strategy, actually,
Okay.
especially at the beginning. So
Okay.
yeah, I've heard it's like, I don't know. I think it had like, I looked today when I looked, it had 3 reviews on OpenCritic, and they were all like 7s. It had like a 70
Okay.
meta. So
But only 3.
it's like, if you're a fan of like mecha and like Super Robot Wars, you might like it. If not, then probably not for you.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think that's fair.
might be something I check out at some point. There's actually a demo of it on PS4 and PS5, and I downloaded that, so I'll probably check out the demo and see what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. As I said, that's out today, actually.
Okay.
So
Got it. 3 reviews. Okay. Well, maybe there'll be like a couple more reviews that come in, but 3 is very low. I know it's a niche, like.
I mean, yeah, I don't think any of the major sites are gonna review it. To be honest, it's too niche.
It's too niche. They're not gonna do it. But anyway. Okay. So 4 games then. 4 games today, and tomorrow. Okay. That was all the upcoming game releases for the next week. That I could find that I think were noteworthy for us. Okay. Here was the first thing that we had about 2 weeks ago. We skipped last week. So we have a possible release window. Who knows? Could be delayed again. Dead Space for early 2023. So I guess we'll just say anything from January to March is early 2023 in my book. So I would expect this remake to come out then. Again, I have one thing I want to say about this remake, and then that's it. I'm done. I'm excited about it, but the plasma cutter sounds different. This is a very weird take to say. I prefer the old plasma cutter sound effects. I don't know why, but there was more power behind it. You know, like when you see, we probably talked about this before, but like when you have like a weapon in a game, you want it to, when you want it to feel like powerful, you want it to have a certain sound. You want there to be a certain amount of impact to know that they're like it's a powerful weapon. I don't know. The first iteration of the plasma cutter sounded more powerful to me and better. You'll have to dig up the video and audio of the new plasma cutter sound, but it's not for me as much as the original. I'm not sure why they changed it. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but the old plasma cutter had that a kind of powerful like thump when you fired it. It's like boom, 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 and you're like, okay, this thing's packing a punch.
I'm gonna see plasma cutter. It's called plasma cutter, right? So here's the sound rework for the plasma cutter. I do want to turn off the music so we can hear this, and I will send this to you as well, by the way, if you want to look at it later. But here I'm gonna actually play the original plasma cutter sound by comparison to the new one, and this is like my only thing I want to say for this game. Yeah. So this, like, there's a lot of power on this. Like, you can feel it, right? It feels powerful. Okay, here's the remake. It sounds powerful, but like it has a weird... Sounds more like a machine gun to me for some reason when it fires.
Yeah, it's a little different, that's for sure.
My thought is I don't hate it, but I think I prefer the first one.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm sure there are people that will disagree, but that's just the original plasma cutter sounded great for me. That's why I used to love using it, because it just had some good sound to it. But anyway, 2023 release window for January to March. as of right now. Maybe April is early for that, but that's good news. I'm super glad they're allowed to take their time for this.
Yep.
This is a really fun horror game. Okay, let's talk about Stranger of Paradise. I'm sorry, Stranger of Paradise. So we did talk about this before, right?
Yep.
We talked about Stranger of Paradise, I think a little bit. The game has like a 73. I want to say this is a miss for Square. Babylon's Fall was an even bigger miss, obviously, but I think this missed.
Babylon's Fall is a flop.
Yeah.
I bet you this sold pretty well.
I'm sure it sold better, of course better, but I'm sure I've sold okay. But yeah, this was Stranger of Paradise was supposed to be like the FF Final Fantasy Souls-like game, I guess is the only way to put it.
Made by Team Ninja, who made Neo.
Yeah.
And Neo 2.
Yeah, I think this is just a big miss. Square's missed a lot recently for me. Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't a miss, but it was a miss in the way that they didn't market it well. So that was a miss for them. I don't know. Square's been missing a lot lately for me. I don't know what else to say, but I think Stranger of Paradise was definitely. Obviously, we don't know sales, but based on the reviews, I feel like that's got to be a failure for particularly using that license of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of disagree with you, to be honest. I think this game was, well, maybe they expected more, but I think this game was pretty much what everyone expected it to be when we saw like the trailers and like the initial demos that came out. It's like, yeah, kind of a fun like action RPG romp in the Final Fantasy world with meme ass characters and a meme ass story. Everything I've heard of it is like, yeah, it's real fun to play. Like Team Ninja knows how to get that right. Like these games are fun to play. There's 3 or 4 difficulties to start, and then there's another one after you beat the game, so plenty of ways to play it. And yeah, just like the combat's fun. There's lots of different weapons which affect which class you are. There's a good like class system based on the Final Fantasy jobs, and yeah, the game's just like, it's just fun to play. Everything else is kind of whatever. The game doesn't look very good for a 2022 game. The story is, you can't take it seriously because it's a huge meme, but if you take it seriously, I'm sure the story is awful if you're trying to take it seriously, but don't take it seriously and you'll probably enjoy it. And the voice acting seems like it's fine, not exceptional, not terrible. Yeah, I mean, again, I think if you're just looking for a good, fun, somewhat difficult action RPG romp in the Final Fantasy setting, this is it. You know, it's going to be a fun game. If you're looking for anything more than that, if you're looking for an engaging story or super stunning visuals, which Final Fantasy usually does have pretty stunning visuals.
Usually it does.
This game kind of looks crappy. Then yeah, but I think you just have to take this game for what it is, and it's just a fun action RPG in the Final Fantasy universe. And other than that, it's not very good, but it's a fun game. So whatever, who cares?
Well, I mean, Square cares if it doesn't make money, but my assumption was based on the reviews and looking at that, I just made an assumption that probably didn't do super well for sales. Probably. Obviously, it could have sold amazingly, and that makes my point moot. But
I mean, it's got the Final Fantasy name on it. It's probably sold at least decently, and I doubt, especially with like the graphics looking the way they were, and this game didn't seem like it had a huge development cycle or anything, I doubt Square spent a ton on this, to be honest.
I would hope not, yeah. But anyway, didn't review well. That's the point. Didn't review well by comparison to what. Yeah, I mean, like it's Final Fantasy. There's like a certain pedigree.
Fine. Yeah, exactly. That's true. It reviewed fine. A 73 is not bad. It's like, this is a very like run-of-the-mill action RPG, basically, right? That's
Yeah.
like what that says to me. Like, there's really nothing special about it, but it's fun for what it is. So
Okay. Moving forward, we did watch the Sonic movie. We did watch it together.
First one.
And I want to say that it was enjoyable for us. I watched it with Kate first, and then obviously we had like the watch party with the group. It's like
it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's not amazing, but it's fun. So there's a second one's coming out in 2 weeks. So the second one's coming out in 2 weeks. I wanted to bring attention here because it's got some good what's the good homages to the games and the Sonic license in general. So I'd imagine you're just going to get more of the same from the first movie, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
It'll probably just be like a nice, fun movie that you could take family to. For people who like Sonic, it's probably going to be a nice, like, fan service movie. I just wanted to say I'm excited for it. The first movie was a surprise. Pre-COVID, came out pre-COVID. Definitely for me a surprise for the quality. I expected it to be bad, actually. I expected the first one to be really bad. But
I
didn't
expect
really
every video game movie to be bad at this point,
Right.
because there haven't been many. Like, Sonic's about the only one that was good. There's a few others that I say were like okay. The new Tomb Raider movie was okay, I thought. Like, I saw that.
Trying to think now. Detective Pikachu was another highlight for me.
I didn't see that. I haven't seen that one.
That was a highlight for
heard
me.
Good things about that.
That was a good one. Shoot. I'm trying to think of recent stuff that I enjoyed as a video game movie, and like Detective Pikachu and Sonic kind of immediately comes to mind. Those are like my two favorites. Of all video game movies I've seen, those are my favorites right now. I think the other ones, like Prince of Persia, was mediocre for me.
It was so.
Which was good at the time for
better than usual.
Right. But
the old Tomb Raider movies, the ones with Angelina Jolie, were like
pretty good. Not like amazing. Okay. They were just like yeah.
They were entertaining for what they were.
Exactly.
Like very fan servicey, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway, this movie comes out in 2 weeks. If you saw the first one, I mean, shit, that was a surprise. So I'm kind of happy that the second one got greenlit and we're gonna get it. Should be fun.
And I think Tails and Knuckles are both gonna be in this one.
Yep. Yeah. Tails, Knuckles.
So they're bringing in some of the other characters.
Yep. Which is good. Should be fun. They have like the Robotnik and the Chaos Emerald. Yeah. They're doing some service to the license, which is great.
Oh yeah, the first one didn't have anything with the Chaos Emeralds. It was just like an origin story for Sonic and Robotnik, basically.
Yeah,
like the only two things.
Exactly. It was just an introduction, and for an introduction, it was good. It was good. So anyway, that's 2 weeks from now. So April 8th. Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm correct. Okay. What's next on here? Oh, the Hogwarts Legacy. We have to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. We talked about it yesterday. So let's talk about now I have to ask, did you watch the entire Hogwarts Legacy trailer? It was like 15 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I watched the whole presentation.
Okay.
It was a week ago, so I don't remember it super like in depth.
Okay, that's fine.
I did watch it.
Well, what were your impressions when you first watched it? Like, just good or bad from what you saw? Like, did you feel like, okay, this looks good? Looks
good.
Horrible.
I think it looks good. I mean, I'm not like I'm not a Harry Potter maniac. I've read all of the books.
Sure.
And watched all of the movies, but that's about it. I don't go crazy for a Harry Potter other than that. Like, I liked it as a kid. I think the books are good. I think the movies were pretty good for the most part too. So, it's a cool universe. But yeah, I'm not a Harry Potter maniac or anything like that. But yeah, this game, at least from what we saw, and obviously when they show trailers for upcoming games, they're putting their best foot forward most of the time. So, but it looked cool. it looked like an open world action RPG in the Harry Potter universe.
Sure.
You're gonna get to explore the castle and do a variety of activities within the castle. And then also the surrounding areas, like areas outside the castle, you're gonna be able to explore as well. Um, and there's gonna be a story. There's probably gonna be some like skill trees. It looks like there's some crafting systems with like like potions and stuff like that. The combat looked interesting. It looked like you could like very rapid fire sling a lot of spells. There's like defensive spells, offensive spells. Kind of the works for the universe. So I think it was, and the game like graphically it looks pretty nice. I would say. It does. I think it looks good.
It does look good. I agree with you there.
So, yep, I think it looked really cool from the 15 minutes we saw of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It looked for a Harry Potter game. A lot of the popular Harry Potter stuff for games right now that I know of are like mobile games. This is kind of like a big Harry Potter adventure for a video game. I will say, like a unique Harry Potter adventure as a video game to have like it's not the most recent stuff that happened in the Harry Potter books, with Harry Potter and the group, but it's like in the past, in like when did they say, like the 1800s or something?
Yeah, I think it's like 100 years in the past.
Yeah, it's like 100 years in the past or something, right?
Yeah, I think they did say like 1800s, maybe it was late 1800s, so
yeah.
It's like about 100 years in the past from the events of the books.
Right. So it's far enough in the past where nobody's touched like that time period. They've done like Fantastic Beasts, which was, I think it was supposed to be like the 1950s or something. Fantastic Beasts,
yeah,
I don't remember.
It's like Dumbledore as a kid, right, or as a teenager.
It's Dumbledore as he's a young adult, or I don't know how old, but like he's an adult at Hogwarts as a professor, and it's like dealing with World War. Really, it's like dealing with World War like 2. So I think it is 1950s.
I'll be
40s, sorry, 30s and 40s. Yeah.
Late 30s, early 40s.
No, you're right. 30s and 40s, sorry. So, but yeah, so anyway, like, this time period in particular in Harry Potter hasn't been touched. So, nice opportunity to expand a bit, and, I thought
kind of allows them to do whatever they want with the story, basically. It's like,
within reason.
Given the license and within reason. I'm sure they probably have to run things by like J.K. Rowling and stuff to make sure she'll okay it and stuff like that. But for the most part, they're probably given mostly free reign because it's as you said, it's an untouched area of the time period.
The casting of spells look great. Exploring the environments in the castle look great. The ability to not just explore the castle, but the like small stuff outside of the castle, which didn't get explored enough for me in like the movies. The books, I think they did, like there's the forest, Forbidden Forest. So there's a Forbidden Forest, and they, the group explored that a bit because there's a lot of like dark but also fantastical creatures there. But there wasn't a lot of exploration of like maybe the small villages nearby the castle. So it seemed like there was some opportunity to explore like nearby settlements of the by the castle, like stands, shop vendors, and then Hogsmeade. Being able to go to Hogsmeade was cool. There's like cool exploration, like being able to explore that in that wizarding world seemed fun. The graphics look great, as you said. To me, it was kind of nice to also see that it's a completely single player game. I think that's actually nice in this case, that we're just getting a single player experience for this. I'd hate to see this as a non-single player experience in like a freaking live service. I just don't want to see that from a game like this.
I saw some stuff in the crafting that was like, looked like there was a lot of different materials, and there was like times for things to craft, which I hope is just part of the game, and you can't like buy that. Like, I hope they don't microtransaction the crap out of that. Yeah, that would be awful.
Seeing mobile mechanics in a single player game like this is not the best thing, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it's implemented. Mobile mechanics in games like this though are not good. I never would like it. Okay, so overall, my impression of this is much like my impression before is it's a good idea. It looks good now that I've seen more of it. And I'm interested. Let's briefly talk about, as brief, maybe longer, but let's talk about the elephant in the room, J.K. Rowling. We're on this Twitter post. The second tweet on this post is maybe let's stop putting money in J.K.'s pocket. We have to talk about this. Okay? I think we have to. We just have to mention J.K. Rowling is involved. She has to be in some capacity.
I mean, yeah, she's the creator of the IP Harry Potter, so
she gets a say. Obviously, people don't like that because J.K. Rowling is a scumbag. We know this. We know this. She has bad takes, really bad opinions. So
she's not a good person.
Right. And I think I want to say on record, like I said to you yesterday, if you buy this game, I don't think any differently of you. J.K. Rowling doesn't need our money. She could go buy an island somewhere and be done. That's how much she has. She doesn't need the money. So you purchasing this game doesn't mean J.K. Rowling is supremely richer. It's not it at all. I just want to say that. If somebody doesn't want to buy this because of J.K. Rowling, I respect their principles.
Mm-hmm.
Having principles is fine. Like, if you don't want to buy this game because of J.K. Rowling, fine. So I'm totally fine with that. I think if I bought this game, I think it would be because the developer did a good job. So,
yeah,
we know J.K. Rowling is a scumbag. We know this, but just want to say, like, this isn't like, oh, we're giving her money, she's gonna be super rich. No, she's not. She doesn't care about your opinion. She's
already super rich.
She's probably on her third private jet that she's purchased, and just like sipping tea, just hanging out. Like, it's not about the money for her anymore. Money is not a thing for her anymore. She doesn't think about that anymore. It's just, I understand the principle, but your logic here is not sound. She has way more money than she can handle at this point, I'm sure. She's freaking Scrooge McDuck swimming in money.
Yeah.
Because she has so much of it she can't spend it all, I'm sure. It's like almost impossible for her to spend it all. So
I agree with what you said. It's like if you want to stand on principle because you hate J.K. Rowling, fine. But yeah, to me, if you're trying to stick it to J.K. Rowling, quote unquote, I think you're wasting your time, because you're not sticking it to her by not buying the game, because she doesn't need your $60 or whatever fraction of that $60 she's gonna get from royalties.
Right. This is a little bit different than, like, I don't want to buy an EA game because EA is a scumbag. Like, if people didn't buy EA games, that would have more of an impact actually for me than not buying this J.K. Rowling Harry Potter video game. Like, J.K. Rowling just be like, okay, whatever. I didn't spend a dime doing anything. Like, EA spends money in the process of making that game. J.K. Rowling doesn't spend a dime. He just sits there and gives feedback.
No,
and probably,
she in fact got money probably selling the license to the developer
exactly.
to make the game.
It's a different situation. Like, your principle doesn't really matter. Like, it does matter, but like in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't affect J.K. Rowling. She's already been paid regardless.
Yeah.
She'll get extra, obviously, but
again, if people want to stand on principle and not buy the game because J.K. Rowling's a scumbag, for me, more power to you. Go right ahead. But for me, I think J.K. Rowling's a scumbag just as much as the next person. But I would rather, if the game is good, I would rather support the developer for making a good game than try to spite J.K. Rowling unsuccessfully. That's kind of where I stand on it.
That's where I'm at as well. So, but I feel like it had to be addressed. Everything Harry Potter related now has to, J.K. Rowling's the elephant in the room. I'm sure everybody that's, involved in some way to the Harry Potter IP is probably like, God, J.K. Rowling, can you stop talking now?
Can you just like go into a corner and never say anything ever again? That'd be.
I'm sure somebody was like, J.K., you gotta stop talking. You gotta stop. All these people that are trying to use your IP, or you're pissing them off. You gotta stop. I'm sure somebody said that to her. I'm sure somebody did. And if they didn't, like, you have to. She has. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Any other Harry Potter thoughts?
Nope. Game looks cool. It's coming out in the fall, I think they said. So I'm sure we'll see more as the months go by.
Okay. I have nothing more as well. Okay. Insiders describe Fast and Furious exits from Xbox's Perfect Dark Studio. As much as half of the core development team have quit in the past year, initiative management says it's confident in its team. How can you be confident in the team if half of them are gone? Isn't that just like a weird PR thing to say? It's like, we're confident in this team. It's like, well, half of them are gone. So I'm not sure you're that confident.
I see what you're saying, but you want them to say like, yeah, we're fucked. We're
no, but maybe don't say confident.
Like,
it's like so weird. These PR statements are. I understand they have to do this. I understand they have to because there isn't any more creative PR statements. There's no more creativity in PR. Somebody has like a book of things to say in these situations. Like, did half your team leave? Say this. Did you say something racist? Say this.
Did you sexually assault your employees?
Did you slap your employee's ass when you shouldn't have? Say this. I just like, I get they're supposed to be supportive of their own like team that's remaining, but like, I don't know. Maybe instead of say confident, just say like we're working through it. I don't know. Like, confident? I'm not confident that you're confident.
Yeah.
Like, I'm less confident now that you've said you're confident. This Perfect Dark game, this reboot was supposed to, it's happened. We knew it was happening before, and as much as half of the development team is gone, and that's 36 people. So
yeah, that's a lot.
I'm just like that's a significant number. Oh my god, and their senior writers also recently quit, along with the project's technical director, tech art director. It's bad when directors are leaving.
Yeah, this looks like a lot of like senior people.
Yeah, no, if it's leads and directors, it's bad. Like it's really bad. Like, obviously it's bad in any case, but like this is really bad. Now you're less than 50 people. Oh god. Okay, I have no confidence at this point. I don't even know when this was supposed to be projected to come out, but
I think we just got a teaser on it so far that it didn't really have a release window yet. So.
Yeah, well, I imagine the release window is going to stay unknown for a while. That's bad. Okay, well,
I just have to wonder why, this happened. Like, was there disputes between them and, Microsoft execs on the direction of the game? Did Microsoft want this to be a, microtransaction heavy mobile game basically, and the lead people wanted to actually make a game, or who knows? Like,
I don't know. I mean, who knows? We'll never know until somebody else in the industry in like 6 months from now comes out with this like large expose piece on the studio, citing whatever happened, like they did with like Anthem's development, and like all the stuff you see from like a Jason Schreier, right? We'll never know. We'll never know if in fact somebody at Microsoft said, "Making Perfect Dark BR," and that's what made everybody leave. Half your team leaving is bad, and especially if they're like directors and leads, really bad. Really bad.
Like, that's the only thing. it's like either that or it's like Microsoft's, contractor bullshit that they do. But I wouldn't think the senior people would be contractors. That wouldn't make much sense to me.
That makes no sense. Yeah, I don't think it's that.
Or if it was like payment dispute type thing, like they just didn't think they were getting paid enough, so they left. But
could be better opportunities. Who knows?
But like that's a lot of people not getting paid enough. Like
yeah, it's something else. Something else is going on. And
yeah. To me, the most likely is what I said first, which is just like dispute on the direction of the game. Microsoft wants something in particular, and the game director and the lead designers and all these other technical director or whatever wanted to make the game they wanted to make, and Microsoft didn't want to do that. So
right. Microsoft's like, no, make this, and then I was like, okay, well, we're gonna leave. I that seems logical to me. The only thing I can think of, okay, is these are not executives that are leaving, okay? These are development leads and such. The only other thing I'm thinking of is some executive did something legally bad to these people, and that could be another reason why people would leave. Is like, well, as we referenced our PR handbook before, somebody slapped somebody's butt. They didn't get punished for it. People are upset about that, obviously.
Yeah. People
leave. It's the only thing I can think of. But, more likely yours. Your scenario is far more likely, I think, in this case. Because they didn't really specify anything beyond just like what their role was. They didn't. Yeah. So, okay. Any other stuff about Perfect Dark losing half its team?
Nope. We will, I guess we'll just have to see. We'll have to follow this when we see any more trailers or anything for this game, see what it looks like, and yeah.
The next trailer is just going to be an Indeed posting of a bunch of job openings. God. It's just going to be a video of job openings. Yeah. God. Like we need people. We lost half the team. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna move the NFT stuff actually, because there might be something relevant for that later. Let me see where we're at. Okay, so we are on. Okay, this is Triangle Strategy sells almost 800,000 units worldwide. That's great. I don't know what it would be nice to know what the average sales are for games in this genre. We'll just say strategy games.
I heard that Octopath did about 1 million in a month. So
okay,
this is 800K in 2 weeks, so that's not too bad.
That's not bad at all. Yeah, I mean that's great. I think if they hit 1 million at the end of the month, for the month period that they after their release, I think that's great. That's great. Like 1 million, it's fantastic. I don't know how much it costs to make a game like this, but you're taking 60 million just raw revenue on that without any other like distribution payments and Nintendo taking their cut. I mean that's great. Well, it's fantastic. And I think this game is almost more niche than an Octopath for me.
It is, because it's a strategy game.
So it's great sales for that too.
I think these are pretty good sales for something like this. Again, it's a strategy game. It's a strategy RPG actually with a story heavy focus. So yeah, I think these are strong sales for this game.
That's good. These are good sales.
Which I'm happy to see, because I think, as I discussed, the game is quite good.
Let me see, was there anything else? Bravely Default 2 had reached 950 units worldwide in 6 months of sales. Octopath at 1 million. Yep, I see that. Okay. Yeah, it's great. That is good. That is good sales. That's great sales. Yeah. And I appreciate the comparison.
It's on similar pace to like a lot of their other games. It seems like, it may not sell quite as well as Octopath in general, because again, I think this game's a little more niche than Octopath is, being a strategy game. But yeah.
And Octopath also eventually got into more platforms, and I'm sure that increased the sales.
I think Triangle. I think they'll do I think Triangle will come to PC at some point, but I'm sure they have an exclusivity deal with Nintendo for probably 6 months to a year.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, this would be good for PC, for Steam. This would be a good PC game too. Okay. Moving on to sorry, I had a little heart attack there. I saw Babylon's Fall. Babylon's Fall. Today we revealed new information about version 1.1, the Nier Automata collaboration to save our game event, and the future of Babylon's Fall development. Read the full update here. Is the continuing service in danger? It's not a good sign when after not just a month, a few weeks of your release, the first sentence says, is the continuing service in danger? Not a good sign when you have to write that. Really not a good sign. That's a horrible sign. I don't even think Battlefield 2042 said that. No. There are no plans to reduce the scale of development on Babylon's Fall. Content up to the end of Season 2 is now practically complete, and we have started work on Season 3 and beyond. We will continue to provide new content for the game and make improvements based on player feedback, striving to keep existing players playing and to attract newcomers. We would like to thank all Sentinels already enjoying the world of Babylon's Fall, as we look forward to welcoming more of you in the future. The Babylon's Fall development team. Hold on, there's something very hard to read in the corner. It says, P.S. Ha ha ha, we already got Square's money. Don't care anymore. Oh, man. Wow. Also, it also says our 5 players will enjoy the game. Let's pull up the Steam charts of Babylon's Fall real fast again. It's also not a good sign that Babylon's Fall was a link that I've searched many times on Steam charts.
Just to see the progress or lack thereof.
Babylon's Fall from the last 7 days peaked at 499 in the last 7 days. 95 playing 14 minutes ago. Thursday at 6 a.m.? Why is 6 a.m.? EU?
Maybe EU, yeah.
402 were playing within the last 24 hours. 402 is a peak. I know nothing of developing video games, nor do I know the minutia of doing your analysis of if you should continue to spend resources into a game after a release. I know nothing about this. So here is my novice perspective. Square, bail. Hit the bail boat. It's okay. Lift the sails. Wave bye-bye to Platinum. Say thanks for trying. We're going to leave you mutinied on the island. Bye-bye. You tried. You tried to save it. You didn't. Goodbye. And Crystal Dynamics on Marvel's Avengers Island is also waving. They're like, hey, remember us? And Square's like, they're like doing that thing where you don't want to. I don't even know why they're trying to do work on Season 3 and beyond. Maybe they've gotten like money already from Square. And Square's told them, hey, we're going to give you this much money to make like content up through Season 3 and past Season 3. Like
maybe they're under contract for a certain amount of time or something like that. And it's just like, okay, they're just going to work on it until then.
I guess so. Yeah, I think they're just going to work on it until the contract's up. I just hit the bail boat. I just be like, hey, look, like we said, we want you to work on Season 3. How about we just stop at Season 0?
Like, how about we just shut the servers down right now? Nobody's playing this crap.
Well, why don't we just make this a single player game? I just this is gonna be harsh to say, but like I'm sure there are at least 500 fans out there playing this game. I just gotta say it. Yeah, I wouldn't shed a single tear if this thing stopped. This thing just seemed like it was really bad. It got no marketing. It just seems really... It's weird for me to say this. It's just like from all the things I've heard from people and seen in videos, there's like no heart to this game.
Yeah.
There's no heart. It's like, you know, there's nothing to it. It's a shell. So, who cares? I'm actually like, usually I'm like, hey, it's great that they're continuing to support the game, the community. In this case, I'm just like sad. I'm like, okay, like, who are you helping? Who are you like providing a service to for this? Like, yeah. 1 second. I want to look this up. The fucking Elder Scrolls Legends has almost as high a peak in the last 24 hours as you. And that game legitimately is in maintenance mode and
dead.
done.
Yeah, it's dead.
That game hasn't had new content in 2 years. And yet it's pulling in almost as many people as Babylon's Fall. It's time to stop. You fucked up. It's time to stop. It's sad. And
Yeah,
Platinum said they want to do more live services. They said they want to do more. Like, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I agree. It's just sad. I'm sorry that Platinum did this and that they want to do more live services. Hopefully, if they do, the next one is much better than this one, because holy moly, this is one of the biggest flops I've seen in a long time, to be honest. Again, I don't know how much money Square spent on this game. Maybe it wasn't that much, but it was in development for quite a while, and it is Platinum, and it is a live service. So I don't think it was insignificant.
Think about this. If they spent $1 million on developing this game, they probably lost money.
Yeah, I bet they spent a whole lot more than that.
Exactly. They probably lost money even if they spent like $1 million. They lost money. Like, that's the crazy thing to think about. Like, I'm sure this game sold astronomically bad. I just looking at the Steam charts, its all-time peak was like 1,000, right? It was like 1,000.
Yeah, it was like 1,100. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, the game has microtransactions, so maybe there's a couple of people. There's a couple of whales for Babylon's Fall.
Okay. This is gonna sound harsh again. If you're wailing for Babylon's Fall, someone shut down your credit card or something. Someone shut off your credit card right now. No one should wail for this game. No one should wail for this game. If you are wailing for this game, you gotta find something else to do. Don't wail for this. This is a failure. Please don't. It's one thing to wail for a Genshin Impact, right? I still wouldn't advocate for that. But good God. Did you hear about
that game isn't going anywhere, so.
Yeah, no, this game isn't going anywhere. We didn't have this, but did you know Dragalia Lost is shutting down?
I saw that, yeah.
Wasn't that out for like 3 years? That was like Nintendo's like mobile game.
It was out for a long time. I know Blue really liked it.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo said, we can't afford to have a quality mobile game. We're too busy trying to make our horrible emulators for the Switch.
Yeah.
Shut it down. Shut it down, boys. I just feel sad for this game. This is sad.
Yeah, I do too. It's just Babylon's Fall. It's just it's so bad. It's so bad.
I can change this graphic so easily. Is this continuing service in danger? Yes, and that's it. That's all you say. It's like yes, and then it says the Babylon's Fall development team. Yes. It just says yes. That's actually what it should be. It's the continuing service. Yeah, Babylon's Fall development team. I just Here's another thing I want to mention. You know, looter hack and slash games. There's a couple of them. Like, apparently Godfall is going to get, like, a new, like...
Oh, yeah, I saw that. They're like,
version?
they're re-releasing Godfall. Lol.
Why? It's just like... Yeah, I just, like... What's going on with these hack and slash looter games? Not looter, sorry. These looter hack and slash games.
Looter slasher.
Looter slasher, there you go. I don't get it. Godfall's, like, trying to release again. I'm sure all 20 people still playing it are excited. Just like this game. Hey, I don't know. I wish this graphic actually did just say, is the continuing service in danger? Yes. And that's it.
I kind of feel bad talking about it because I just feel like we're beating a dead horse. It's like, God, this thing is it's just so pathetic.
I don't feel that bad. I feel like, I don't even feel bad when we invoke Marvel's Avengers still and make fun of it. Like, I don't even feel bad about it. I never feel bad about this. Just because, like, I don't know what they even expected when they released this coming out of the gate. Like, were they legitimately impressed that this thing was gonna, like, this thing... I have to imagine with some games when they come out, like, the developers know it's not gonna, like, especially ones that aren't great, they're not very good. You have to know the developer knows that it's not very good. Like, they're obviously proud that they made it, and there's a lot of effort put into that. Even, like, even some of the bad games that we see, like, there's tons of effort put into it and time. And I'm sure they had personal feelings towards it. But also on some level, you have to know as a developer, wow, I just made a boring game. Like, too. Like, yep. I don't know. Like, I feel bad kind of saying it like that, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, they had to have known the game wasn't going to be that good coming out the gate. So that's why I don't feel that bad. But yeah, we do bully. I think we're gonna bully Babylon's Fall for at least another couple months. I feel like we're just gonna keep seeing things about it, and it's not gonna stop.
Yeah.
But they're having a Nier Automata collaboration, so that's great.
Cool.
I'm sure you could pay $10 to get to get the 2B skin.
Are we getting 2B's butt in Babylon's Fall?
That's maybe that can save it. That might legitimately get 100 new players.
I mean, it's not going to look nearly as good as it did in Nier Automata because this game looks trash. So,
true. No, this game needs to go. This game needs to go free to play today. That's what they should do. They should go. We fucked up.
Like, I think the only ways, there's two possible ways that they could salvage this game. Way number one, you just said it. Just go free to play and like see if you can attract anybody with that.
Yeah.
Because this game being at $60 is just no.
No.
This game at $30 is still just no.
Yep.
Like,
agreed.
If this game is like more than
10,
more than free, but yeah, maybe 10, like 10 or less, maybe. But this game should go free to play. Number two, option B is to Final Fantasy 14 it and just remake the whole fucking game, which I'm sure they won't do.
They're not going to do that, but yeah, I mean that's what you would have to do. You'd have to remake it. You'd have to do that. You'd have to remake it, like fundamentally change it on a foundational level, because it's so. Every video I've seen of this game, every single person says the same thing. It's boring. It's boring.
Yep.
Which, as a testament to Stranger in Paradise, at least Stranger in Paradise, people have said is entertaining. It's fun to play.
Yeah, it's fun.
All I've heard from people is it's boring. I'm bored. I'm just bored. So, it's just like, yeah, you'd have to completely change the game to get it to work if you wanted to re-release it. This is sad. I feel like we're just going to keep seeing more and more in the next like month or two, and then in 6 months we're going to see this thing like Babylon's Fall servers are shutting down. I think that's just what we're going to see from this particular game. I just can't see it lasting much longer than 6 months. Like, I don't know why they continue to pay for servers for 6 months, past 6 months. It just doesn't seem like something they'd want to do.
I mean, it should definitely go free to, like, this game should go free to play 100%.
100%.
Like,
I think we'll see something in like a month or two that'll say that.
they might actually attract some players if it went free to play. Maybe people be willing to try it for free.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, anything's possible. So, anyway, any other Babylon's Fall bullying?
Nope.
Okay. Fortnite removed building in the game. Building is gone. Let me say that one more time. Fortnite removed building in their new season. I can give you two perspectives on this. Okay. First perspective, for old farts like myself, fantastic change. Let me explain why. People like me have arthritis. So the challenge with arthritis is it's really hard for you to make these quick actions effectively. So building is really challenging for me. And it's also just annoying to play against somebody who's like legitimately T-Rex pounding their controller in a certain way, and like it's just like a tower emerges out of nowhere. So it's like super frustrating because you don't actually get into gunfights. You just get into build offs, and I'm not here for that. I just want to play like a third person shooter, yeah, BR. Okay, so the removing a building is great for old farts like me. It's really bad. Oh, go ahead.
Here's my perspective on it. I didn't play Fortnite very much, but for me, I'm like, I don't even if I could do the building, I just don't want to. I'm just like that. It's not worth my time to learn how to do that. I just want to shoot things. Sure. Like that's fine with me.
Yeah, sure. Like, and I think Try Courage when he plays is the same way. He just like doesn't build. He's like, yeah, I don't feel like it. So for people like that, also it's great, but it's also good for old farts like me. For that 12-year-old kid that looked up every single YouTube video from like all the big Fortnite people to master their building, I'm sure they're pulling their hair out like crazy and screaming at the television. They're pissed off. So like there's two perspectives on it. The streamers that are like really big, like certain streamers that are really big in BRs, but like, you know, like they like Call of Duty Warzone a bit more, or like an Apex Legends, also like this because it plays like that, but it's Fortnite. You know, Fortnite has a style to it that I think people do like. And also they added some things like they added sprinting, they added vaulting, so you can climb buildings, get on rooftops. I think the only bad change has been they added like a tank that's really hard to destroy. So like that thing can just obliterate teams to win the game. Mm-hmm. And you can repair it too. Like you can repair this tank. There's like a repair tool. So what you do is you have two people in the tank and you have like a third person running behind it, repairing it the whole time. Even in like 1v1 solo games, I think the tank exists where it's like you're going into the BR solo. Like if you grab that tank, you can just like clear out an area. No problem.
Does the tank just spawn somewhere random on the map and you can just find it?
I found that there are certain places the tank will spawn.
Okay. Is there only one on the entire map?
No, there's like 3 or 4.
Okay, there's 3.
Something like that. So it seems like for this particular season, Chapter 3, Season 2, there is no building. Okay? That does not mean it's going to go away the next season. Season 3, building comes back. However, my anticipation is that this will become a game mode. No building game mode. So there will be a non-building game mode that will be added after this season. I don't know what it'll be called, obviously. At that point, the game will resume.
It'll be called Old Man.
It'll be called the Old Fart mode.
Old Fart Fortnite.
Old Fart Battle Royale. OFBR. Old Fart Battle Royale. It'll be great. Like I like no building in Fortnite. It feels like kind of nice to actually just get into a 1v1 with somebody, and it's like who actually knows how to aim. And what I found is like people have relied so heavily on building, they stopped learning how to aim as well.
They don't know how to aim.
They're like, oh, well, I can just build around you, so I don't have to aim as well. But now, like, yeah, you know, it's not easy. Like the game isn't easy, right? But like at the same time, like you sort of see people get exposed for how bad their aim is, particularly at like medium to long distance. People like some of the people that aren't bots that we play, their aim is horrible. It's just laughable. It's like, oh my god, aim is, what the frick is this? So I mean, like, I think it's really fun. I think if you don't like Fortnite because of the building, you're gonna really like this new season. I'm really enjoying it though. I think the only problem I have is the tank, but like, the game is really fun for me right now. This is a really fun game right now. So I want to put this on because this is also a big deal. Like, Fortnite's had building since the beginning. So, like, to actually remove it is like moving the reason why it was different from other BRs.
Yep.
So anyway, very cool. Also, as a part of this season, it would Epic said they were going to donate 2 weeks worth of the Fortnite proceeds to support Ukraine, which was also cool. And
Sure.
I think they said that like they've raised like tens of millions of dollars already or something like that. So
Wow.
they probably raised like a crap load of money already because it's Fortnite. So it's like great. It's actually really great. This season's great for multiple different reasons. I thought that was a great thing for them to do. Is like, okay, for two weeks worth of Fortnite money is really impactful. Which I think is great. That's really cool that they did that. So, that's the Fortnite thoughts. Shall we move forward?
Yep.
Okay. I know you're really itching to talk Fortnite, but
yeah, you know how much I love Fortnite.
I know you're a big fan. So, okay. PlayStation Studios bought Haven Studios. If you're thinking what has Haven made, the answer is nothing. They just have a good team. Their team is led by Jade Raymond. We actually talked about Jade Raymond before. Do you remember when we talked about Jade Raymond?
I don't remember the name now.
Jade Raymond. I need to confirm this because I want to make sure I know this. Did you know that Jade Raymond used to be a part of the top quality all-time leading streaming gaming service called Google Stadia at one point?
Nope. I did not remember that.
Jade Raymond, best known for helping create Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs franchises, and for building Ubisoft Toronto and EA Motive Studios. So, it's a pedigree. It's a pedigree there. So, PlayStation got this studio, Haven Studios, and I'm just gonna assume Jade Raymond runs it because, runs maybe like not the whole studio in general, but like she's probably in like the executive team or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't made anything, but they're obviously gonna make something, and PlayStation just bought them before they made anything.
Yeah, I heard they were already working on whatever this game is, this new AAA multiplayer game for PlayStation, but PlayStation hadn't owned them yet, and now PlayStation owns them officially. So
right. So anyway, sorry, I was looking at something from my dad texted me. So yeah, I mean, this is what happens though. Just to be clear, like there are definitely companies that don't just like buy products, so to speak. They buy teams because the company doesn't really have like a great, like maybe the product is like really small and it supports a really small group of people, but like the team that made it's really good. So you just sort of buy the team. You're like, okay, now that we have you as an amazing team, we're going to put you on these products that
we're going to give you more money. We're going to give you more money so you can make a AAA game as opposed to whatever the small thing you made before was.
Right. Right. You're basically like acquiring a team. You're like hiring a team as is. So for me, because they don't have any games out, they're basically just hiring the team to make games for them. That's it. They're not buying games. They're not buying IPs. You're just buying the team, and then the team's going to make your IPs now. So, a AAA is a new IP for PlayStation, a AAA multiplayer experience. You mentioned that. Okay, that's quite vague in my opinion, but like multiplayer.
Really that doesn't mean. I mean,
it's almost nothing for me.
It could be a sports game. It could be a shooter. It could be an action game. It could be. It could be anything. Not anything, but it could be a lot of things.
It's pretty vague though. They didn't give a genre, so it's pretty big. But yeah, I mean, this happens. Like, you get a studio, somebody says, "Hey, you got a great team. We want to buy your team," basically, and there you go. That's what happens. So another acquisition of. Can't say Haven's a big studio, so small We're gonna say small indie company Haven Studios for now, until they actually publish a game or like produce a game and release it. But yeah, another PlayStation acquisition.
Yep.
Okay. CD Projekt Red is trying to renew their brand by making a new Witcher game. It's also worth noting that it will be made with Unreal Engine 5.
Yep.
And not the engine that CD Projekt Red is using. So, yeah. CD Projekt Red really needs that reputation back. So,
they sure
what do we do? Just make Witcher again. Okay. Let's just make another Witcher. People like that. People really like Witcher, so we should just do that again. But we should just keep doing that. Okay, sounds good. What about Cyberpunk? Who? No, Witcher. We're doing Witcher now.
What's a cyberpunk?
Who? There's like who?
I've never heard of that.
Who is that? No, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Nope. We re-released something, but Witcher. So they got to get that reputation back.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know. There's really nothing else for me to say on this. Like,
yeah, I mean, some people were speculating, oh, they're gonna go Epic exclusive because they're using Unreal Engine. People were saying stuff like that, and CD Projekt was pretty quick to. People were speculating, and CD Projekt was pretty quick to come back and say, we're not announcing anything about console exclusivity, the time period of the game, the characters that are going to be in the game. It's like, it's just a new game in the Witcher universe that's using Unreal Engine 5. That's it.
Oh, so they didn't say no.
They didn't say no. They didn't say yes either.
They didn't say no, so immediately everyone's going to start thinking that.
Yeah.
First thing, hope it's not an Epic Games exclusive. I know it's.
Yep.
I have to say, like, the challenges of society today. Steam or Epic.
I know. You have to download another launcher on your computer.
I know. It's
painful.
Just thinking about it, like my heart aches. Just thinking about it.
It just hurts.
Like I ache just thinking about it. So I mean, like, Witcher fans are going to be happy. That's great. It says a new saga begins. I'm going to assume either, it's going to be somebody who was in the Witcher series but isn't Geralt. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe like Ciri. Or it's just like a completely different person. But new saga to me is like, maybe Geralt won't be the main character. Maybe somebody else. Somebody else is involved. I don't know much about it, but I don't even know if Geralt died at the end or not. I really don't even know. But I'm just going to assume somebody else is going to be the main character. So, anyway. Okay. This was not on our doc. This next one. Well, I've talked about this before. It's called Storybook, almost said Storybrooke. Storybook Brawl. Okay? Storybook Brawl. That's like a tongue twister for me. It's actually really annoying. It's like Hearthstone Battlegrounds. It's an auto chess game, but it's like fairy tale characters. Okay? Auto chess with fairy tale characters. It's made by.
Oh, I was thinking the anime fairy tale for a second. No, actual fairy tales.
No. Like the fairy tale stories, not the anime. If it was the anime, instead of seeing these like dragon and pig characters, you'd just be seeing a lot of Big Booba.
Big Booba.
You'd just be seeing Big Booba. But this game had been out for, I want to say, over a year now. It got acquired by a crypto company. A crypto company, FTX, bought the game. And the game before had a very positive rating. You want to take a wild guess what happened after the crypto company bought it?
Review bomb.
It got review bombed. It's now mostly negative. So the reason why it's mostly negative is because people are concerned that with FTX's acquisition of Good Luck Games, which is the developer, reviewers think that the game is going to go in some sort of NFT direction, which if a crypto company bought it, that's probably what they're going to do. So that was like the main concern of the review bombing, was like, okay, this is now going to become like a crypto scam. I don't know. I don't know how like most of the reviewers, the people who were reviewing it, were saying, but there was just overwhelming concern that this is going to be some kind of like NFT game. I don't know. Like, I think I'm looking at this here and it says like Valve has a total cryptocurrency game ban on Steam. So Valve bans cryptocurrency games on Steam, and this was back in October. So if this game ever went into that direction, it wouldn't be able to be on Steam. It would have to be downloaded from its own website or something like that. Or they'd have to go to Epic, I guess, if Epic allowed that. I mean, obviously, the company itself is going to say positive things. The CEO says he wants players to feel ownership over the success of Storybook Brawl, and that FTX is looking to create a model for digital object ownership done right. Oh God, you might as well just jab me with a bamboo pole on the side.
Like that stinks to high hell right there. Like I can smell that bullshit from here.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah, that was bad reading that. I have a really negative I have negative energy in my whole body just thinking about that. Everything about me just is going in.
Anytime anyone tries to spin like NFTs in a positive light, I'm just like, you're full of shit. Thank you.
No, this is like, it's not. Don't
That's
do that.
That's a scam. It's a scam.
It is. I just don't get this. So obviously they're talking about if they intend to integrate cryptocurrency into the game. I mean, a cryptocurrency company bought them. Of course they're going to. It would make no sense for them not to. So I'm super. They're talking about how PUBG, Battlegrounds company, committed to NFTs, but there's also been big backlash. Okay. Well, this game, the reason why I brought this up is it's an indie studio. The game had a really positive review from people. The people that I've talked to from like the old stuff that I've done with Tesla liked the game. I liked the game. I haven't played it in a while, but I liked the game. It sucks that like a game like this could be ruined because somebody wants to do some exploitative crap to the audience. And like Storybook Brawl did not have a massive audience. It was good. It was a good audience. And there were a couple big streamers that played it, like when they did advertised streams for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like this game was like massive. But it's just sad because it's like, okay, this game was obviously well made. A lot of effort was put into it. Did good by the community. I've heard nothing bad from the developer about this game. They were like really pushing out like even competitive for this game. They like made competitive work for the game with tournaments and stuff. They're really great at the community. And it just sucks that somebody just walks in with cryptocurrency crap and is like, hey, I can exploit this. And they just ruin it. They just ruin it for everybody. It's party pooper. Huge party pooper. So that's why I wanted to bring this one up, is I figured this out today. And this happened apparently yesterday. I figured this out today because we've mentioned it before, but Ian Bits, who did Tesla stuff with me, he was talking about it, and I didn't even realize that this happened until he was talking about it. And all I feel is sadness now. All I feel is sad because that entire community is concerned about the NFT part of it. They're like, okay, we don't want NFTs here. Come on.
Yep.
So, anyway, I just feel sad. The last thing I have on here is, originally in our doc, I had a YouTube video from Yong Ya. I pulled an article from that specifically, just talking about how interest in NFTs and the metaverse is falling. Thank Christ.
Yep.
So I'm just going to go straight to the charts. The charts here, this is my guess. This is a Google keyword search. Okay, because it looks like a Google keyword UI. So here's NFTs, here metaverse is keywords. Here's the graph. You'll notice that at some point here, right before November, the interest peaked in the metaverse at an extremely high level. And here, I'm just going to guess close to the beginning of the year, NFTs was peaking. At this point, we're going to look at present day here. In present day, metaverse and NFTs are really going down. The keyword searches are going downhill, and that there is some validity to that, to see that it's not trending as much on Google search results. And then there was more charts here. So here are more charts. This is these are using terms like Bitcoin, blockchain, Ethereum, things like that. Here are the searches for that. So those searches over the course of what I'm going to guess is, this is the past 90 days. So the past 90 days, we had some peaking here, probably end of January. I'm just going to guess in all those search results except for blockchain. And now we're sort of falling back to the normal keyword levels, although some of them appear to have really gone down in the search results and for people searching those terms. So I think like the whole purpose of the article, just to sum it up from this last paragraph here, is that I think like NFTs and metaverse were this really big term that people wanted to make something out of, to make it a trending thing for the long term. They called it like Web 3.0 or something. I don't even remember what they even called it, Web 2.0. But it seems like there's a lot less interest in it now. And I just want to say thank God. Because the metaverse by itself is not an intriguing prospect for me. And NFTs we know are they're just scams. So I'm really glad that those terms are not doing as well. So anyway, I don't know. We just talked about NFTs and crypto in a game, and over the course of some of our other games that we just talked about in the news. But I'm curious, like these NFTs and metaverse are trending down.
Yep.
Obviously, that doesn't mean it's not going to go back up, but maybe we focus on metaverse as well. Like I think you've seen some things on metaverse, right? This idea of metaverse. The idea of metaverse being like, oh god, this picture is gross, but the ability to like basically think of it as like you put your VR headset on and you go into like
around a virtual hub.
Yeah, a virtual hub.
You could like interact with people and talk to people, I assume,
and like
stuff like that.
And go to Walmart and shop at Walmart.
Oh,
go to go do virtual activities with people in like almost a real world setting.
Yeah.
That is the idea of metaverse. Like do things, activities online virtually, but with like a real world aspect to it. That's the idea of metaverse, at least from my perspective. And obviously we've talked about NFTs before, but the fact that it's trending down is great. Because I thought both of those things, the only reason they were trending is because companies said, oh my god, we can make a lot of money on this and not spend much at all.
Yeah. Metaverse is like, I'm not particularly interested in something like that, at least right now. I could see it being an interesting thing, kind of, I guess. NFTs is literally just a pump and dump scam. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing. Like, there is no redeeming qualities to NFTs. Metaverse, you could see possibly some upsides to that if some people were into it. And NFTs is just 100% a scam.
Oh, I agree.
So.
I agree with you 100%. I've never been really interested in NFTs. There's NFTs now for like somebody's trying. They tried this before. Somebody tried this before. NFTs for streamers, and somebody's trying it again. Somebody else is trying it again. I don't remember the name of the company. They're trying to do NFTs for streamers where you do videos. You basically like you buy a video clip as an NFT from a streamer. And my only thought is, why don't you just fucking go look at a Twitch clip?
Yep.
What's the difference? The NBA had this happen too. I don't remember what it's called anymore, but the NBA had this like really big boom in the same concept, an NFT clip, and like people like flocked to it for like a month.
Get like a GIF of a dunk or something like that, and
something like that, like a highlight. You get a highlight play as a GIF, and it's NFT. So you like purchase a receipt for it. It was really big for like a month. I have heard nothing about it since. So I'm assuming it's died down significantly. But like, even then, as a concept, I was looking at it, and at first I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's like almost like a card, but like a video card. But then I realized, oh wait, like there's only like 100 available or something. It's like X number available. It's not an infinite supply, but also like it's digital. So like I don't have the card in my hand. So like, what's the point for me? Like, what do I get out of that if I can't have it in my hand and like share it with people? Like with Pokemon cards, like I have it in my hand. Like I can walk over to Kate right now and hand her a card, and she can physically display it, which she has like on the windowsill a bunch of cards that I've handed to her. She can't do that with an NFT card. It's much lamer. It's much lamer.
Yep.
Because like, okay, well, like I can show somebody this, but like I don't technically own the video, one. Number two, like I can't display it anywhere. Like what am I gonna do? Like what am I gonna do with this? So at least when I have a Pokemon card, I actually own it. Right? Like I own some of the cards that I've displayed around here. With these NFTs, I don't own that video. I don't own any aspect of it. I own a receipt. I've never understood this. So there are all these like ideas of NFTs, and every time I see one, it kind of just like it gets really popular for like a month, and it kind of slowly dies.
Yep.
And the only people that really profited from that are the people that were either making those NFTs for people, or the ones that were trying to pump and dump, as you said.
Yeah.
So the concept of NFTs is really, it's been weird to me, but it's also been like really, it's obviously been scummy. I've never been infatuated with it.
I hope it was just like a few month fad and that it's just gonna die pretty much.
I hope so too. The NFT bros, like there's this term crypto bros, okay? They're excited about Bitcoin kind of deal. Like, right? Talking about it, trying to build up the value of it. The NFT bros just piss me off. They just piss me off to another level. They're just weird. They're really weird people. Very strange people. I ended up seeing some of this stuff with like the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Oh my god, on Twitter. Oh my god. I've never wanted to vomit so quickly in my life. You just look at it, and like you see them displaying, they're like, I got this ape, and he's like, you're an idiot. You don't got that. You got a digital receipt. Your name is in a database. Good job. And it's just like the pictures are ugly. Me too. Anytime somebody's like, oh, this is a cute one, it looks like me. It's like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It looks stupid. Why are you trying to say it looks good? It doesn't look good. It looks dumb. Yeah. That community can be vomit inducing at times. So
sounds terrible. I don't want anything to do with it.
No, it's just weird. They're just weird. just weird people. There's weird people. They're trying to chase the fad. They're fad chasers. So they're trying to make their quick buck. Anyway. Okay, well, that was our news for today.